In the old days, the myths were the stories we used to explain ourselves. But how can we explain the way we hate ourselves, the things we've made ourselves into, the way we break ourselves into, the way we overcomplicate ourselves? But we are still mythical. We are still permanently trapped somewhere between the heroic and the pitiful. And we are still godly. But that's what makes us so monstrous. But it feels as though we've forgotten we are so much more than the sum of all the things that belong to us. And the empty skies rise over the benches where the old men sit, and they are desolate and friendless. And the young men spit, and inside they're delicate, but outside they're reckless. And I reckon that these are our heroes. These are our legends. That face on the street you walk past without looking at, or the face on the street that walks past you without looking back. Or the man in the supermarket trying to keep his kids out of his trolley, or the woman by the postbox fighting with her brolly. Every single person has a purpose in them burning. Look again. See them. Millions of characters, each with their own epic narratives, singing, "It's hard to be an angel until you have been a demon." The sky is so perfect it looks like a painting, but the air is so thick that it feels like we're fainting. And still, the myths in these cities have always said the same thing. How all we need is a place to belong, and how all we need is to know what's right from what's wrong, and how all we need is to struggle to find out for ourselves which side we are on. We all need to love and be loved and keep going. There may be no monsters to kill, no dragon's teeth left for the sowing, but what there is the flowing of rain down the gutters, and what there is the muttering of nutters. And what we have here is a brand new mythic palette. The parable of the mate you had who could have been anything, but he turned out an addict. Or the parable of the prodigal father, returned after years in the wilderness. Our morality is still learned through experience, gained in these cities with all of their rage and their tedium. And yes, our colors are muted and grayed, but our battles are staged all the same, and we are still mythical. Call us by our names. We are perfect because of our imperfections. And we must stay hopeful. We must stay patient, because when they excavate the modern day, they'll find us, the brand new ancients. See, all that we have here is all that we have always had. We have jealousy and tenderness and curses and gifts, but the plight of the people who have forgotten their myths and imagine that somehow now is all that there is a sorry plight. All isolation and worry. But the life in your veins, it is godly, heroic. You were born for greatness. Believe it, know it, take it from the tears of your poets. There's always been heroes and there's always been villains, and the stakes may have changed, but really there's no difference. There's always been greed and heartbreak and ambition and bravery and love and trespass and contrition, and we are the same beings that began, still living. And all of our fury and foulness and friction, everyday odysseys, dreams and decisions. And the stories are there if you listen. And the stories are here. And the stories are you, and your fear and your hope is as old as the language of smoke and the language of blood and the language of languishing love. And the gods are all here because the gods are in us. And the gods are in the betting shops, and the gods are at the calf, and the gods are smoking fags out the back. And the gods are in the office blocks, and the gods are at their desks, and the gods are sick of always giving more and getting less. And the gods are at the rave 2 pills deep into dancing, and the gods are in the alleyways laughing. And the gods are at the doctors, they need a little something for the stress. And the gods are in the toilets having unprotected sex. And the gods are at the supermarkets, and the gods are walking home, and the gods can't stop checking Facebook on their phones. And the gods are in a traffic jam, and the gods are on the train, and the gods are watching adverts, and the gods are not to blame. For they are working for the council, and now they're on the dole, and now they're getting drunk, pissing their wages down a hole. And the gods are in their gardens with their decking and their plants, and the gods are in the classrooms, and those poor things don't stand a chance. For they're trying to tell the truth, but the truth is hard to say. And the gods are born, and they live a while, and then they pass away. And they lose themselves in crowds, and their guts are full of rot, and they hope there's something more to life, but they can't imagine what. And these gods have got no oracles to translate their requests. These gods have got a headache, and a payment plan, and stress about when they'll next see their kids. They're not fighting over favorites. They're just getting on with it. And we are the brand new ancients. So choose one. Choose any of these gods watching telly on their own, feeling bored but not knowing what more there is to want it. Choose one and look again, and you will see the gods rise in the most human and unassuming of eyes.
Nailed it.